Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Thursday, August 25th, and we are previewing a handful of Week 1 college football games with returning guest Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Last year at BMOCMoves.com. Now it's Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Jeff, thanks for being back with us. We actually had a few commenters on our YouTube channel openly wondering whether you were going to be back, and I'm happy to say the answer is yes.
I'm happy to be back as well, Peter. Always good chatting with you.
Sounds good. And these are games that you've chosen, so presumably you like a decent edge in these games. Tulane and Wake Forest is the third game we're going to cover here. Wake Forest is a 17-point favorite. Total is 43. Wake Forest basically, I think, should be the same again this year as they were last year. You know, they might be minorly improved on offense, but in general, very weak on offense, strong on defense, and when they get wins, they tend to be low scoring and to go under. And Tulane, I don't know what's going to go on with them here because, of course, they have a new coach, right? Willie Fritz, who comes over from Georgia Southern, and he, of course, very successfully employed the run-heavy option offense there. But now he's coming in here with, year one at Tulane, and he doesn't really have the personnel to work with. So maybe in 3 years, Tulane's going to be a wildly undervalued team and overachieve. But I'm not seeing how they're going to score any points here. Their starting quarterback left because of the new system they're going to bring in. They don't have any receivers. They're thin at receiver anyway. Their quarterbacks can't pass to him, and the offensive line is a weakness. So I'm not sure how Tulane's going to be able to score, especially early in the season. And I'm thinking the under 43 here might be a great play. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think Tulane's one of the worst teams in the country.
Yeah.
I got to ask why. Willie Fritz was very good at Georgia Southern. They had a great team coming in there this year. I guess it was all about money for him, but I don't really see why he'd want to go and coach Tulane. I mean, this team was awful last year. I mean, they won one game on the road. They only had 17 points a game on the road. And defensively, they were an absolute mess, Peter. I mean, they gave up 44 points a game on the road. They have no quarterback, which you've mentioned. Their quarterback, Tanner Lee, transferred. And they have possibly the worst quarterback situation in America. They have nothing at quarterback. And if you can believe it, their wide receiver core is even worse.
Yeah.
One of the receivers actually retired to go do track and field. So you got to know that their situation is pretty bad there. And you look at Wake, Peter. I mean, this is a team that returned 16 starters. They're in the third year of Dave Clawson's tenure. And look, I backed them last year in one of your videos against Clemson. I like this team, actually. I think, if they can get the quarterback position figured out, they don't really know where they're going there, but Wolford was decent last year. They have a good dual-threat quarterback as well. I think they're actually going to be able to move the ball a little bit better than this. They usually do. Is a ball out of the question? I don't know. I think Wake will actually be a similar to like a Vandy last year. Vandy was a pesky team for a lot of teams. I'm going to lay the number here. This Tulane team's awful. I mean, they may not score in this game. I wouldn't be surprised. They are awful. I could see like a 31-3, 31-0 type of game. Under looks good as well. But Tulane's just so anemic on the defensive end. I have a hard time taking unders involving them.
I have my note here down on my paper. It says maybe under here, question mark. Could see like a 26-0 Wake Forest win. So I could see an easy cover by Wake Forest and an easy under the low total. And don't forget, last year, Wake Forest had that game against Boston College. Final score 3-0. That's final of the full game, not final of the first quarter.
That actually went into overtime, I believe, as well.
Did it? Really? 3-0. And Tulane did the same thing last year. They had a game against UConn that ended wound up 7-3. So
Peter, but then they had a game against Army, which I actually backed the under in that game, and it was like 38-31.
Yeah.
Tulane's just so bad defensively that it's hard to back them. But if I would take a total, I would definitely lean under here.
All right, Jeff from BMOCMoves.com. BMOCWins.com. I'm agreeing with you. I think we're both going to get a win here. You're liking Wake Forest minus 17. I'm definitely liking the under at 43. And again, I agree with you. I think we might see a 31-3, 26-0 type of game.
Willie Fritz made a bad decision going to Tulane, Peter. He should have stayed at Georgia Southern.
And you might be right. The best way to play this game might just be Tulane team total under, even though that'll be low as well. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Thanks so much. Talk to you again very soon.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.